lineage. His teacher was Toshitsugu Takamatsu, the 33rd headmaster. He was born in the 1800s. Takamatsu sensei chose Hatsumi sensei as his heir, as the one to take it on into the 20th century.
There are 5 important teachings in ninjutsu. Undying devotion. You must always follow the precepts of a true path. Natural endurance, natural transcendence. And the last is enlightenment. This essence of light is the same way the sun gives off radiance to the earth.
The tradition that he has is around 900 years old.
So our lineage, we refer to it as 34 generations old. In this particular type of a clan, it's not bloodline, but this is a clan.
The whole ninja culture was based on preserving the clan because in ancient Japan, there was a feudal system. Everyone was a member of a caste, but the ninjas were outcasts. They weren't part of the system, so their entire existence depended on every individual member, willing to sacrifice their lives for the sake of the greater good.
The dragon sword is gripped firmly in the hands of young ninja Ryu Hayabusa.
In Ninja Gaiden, the Hayabusa clan is Ryu's family. It was their fate that sent Ryu on this path.
In the story of the first game, the Lord of the Greater Fiends Doku is sent to the Hayabusa village to retrieve the Dark Dragon Blade, and in the process, he slays all of Ryo's clan members. He basically decides to set off on revenge. So the story of Ninja Gaiden 1 is Ryo Hayabusa's journey to the Vigor Empire to wipe it out, and he is ultimately successful.
In ancient days, if someone lost their family, a ninja's clan was wiped out, their view was that the spirits of that clan, they still exist. They still have an investment in what happens on the earthly plane. It would be that one last ninja's moral imperative to go out and right the wrongs that created the ability for these murders to happen. That becomes his whole mission in life.
Ryu, they're heading for the Hayabusa village. Your clan is in danger.
The story of Ninja Gaiden 2 is not directly related to the first game. Ryo, of course, defeated all of the fiends of the Vigor Empire in the first game, but there is actually another group of fiends that exists.
Dagradai resurrects and restores the Archfiend to power.
They are planning to resurrect this deity, this god of theirs called the Archfiend. Once again, the Hayabusa village is attacked because it holds a sacred artifact that these fiends need to attempt this resurrection. Hayabusa basically has to once again avenge the deaths of his fellow clan members. There is another side element that's very important, which is the struggle between the Black Spider Ninja Clan. Their leader, whose name is Genshin, provides a foil for Hayabusa.
How the vaunted Dragon Ninja bloodline has withered.
The Black Spider Ninja Clan, under the leadership of Genshin, has kind of teamed up with the Fiends. Ryu Hayabusa is the quintessential male hero. He reflects all of the ideals that we have, about fighting for something that you believe in, about, wanting to protect your loved ones, about, wanting justice against evil.
Even though you have that ruthlessness part of him, you know the things that why he's doing things, and as you're controlling him, it's for a good cause, or there's some justice in it, and the storyline behind the game is towards that justice, and I think that warrior code does come out.
We wanted to portray in his character the feeling that not only is he incredibly powerful, but he has responsibilities. He isn't a lone wolf. He is part of a clan.
A lot lot of times you have the story first, and then you come up with the enemies. But this time around, our artists came up with a group of amazing, high-quality enemies, but we couldn't put them all in, so we had to figure out how we were going to organize them. So we started out with getting 4 greater fiends, who are kind of the big bosses of the game.
You may call me Alexei.
Wolf, greater fiend and ruler of storms. I am Sidonius, ruler of flame.
I am Elizabeth.
So that's how things started. Now we know who our main bosses are going to be, but we have a huge amount of high-quality enemies that have already been modeled and are ready to be put in. Now, for various reasons, we can't put every single one of those enemies in. We went in and decided what enemy was going to be in the game and which were not. Every guy on a team has enemies that he likes, that he's worked on, he doesn't want to see go. We might be out drinking one night, and one of the team members will saddle up to me with a drink, and he'd be acting like a door-to-door salesman. He'd be like, well, you know, that this enemy has a really cool tail attack, and I just want you to know that he could be really fun in certain situations. So some enemies actually got put back in because some of the team members were so attached.
The enemies in the game, they really come at you with everything they've got. They're just filled with a desire to finish you off.
That increases the pleasure that you get when you finally defeat those enemies.
The enemy AI is responding intelligently to the battle that's going on. So the way you injure the enemy AI is going to actually influence the way they fight you. The intensity of the fighting is going to be ratcheted up because this enemy is going to feel more threatened. They're going to be desperate. You almost feel like you're playing against a human player.
The first game was basically, you got an enemy's life down to 0, now he's dead. But in this game, you can lop off limbs and then do an obliteration technique, which will finish an enemy off quicker.
But one of the coolest things about the obliteration technique system is that it'll actually change up the move depending on the situation. So you might get one move for, you know, a left arm, and you might get another move for a right arm, and then a different move for you know, a decapitation or for a leg missing. So even on the same weapon and even on the same enemy, you're going to see different animations depending on what happens.
So if an enemy loses an arm or loses a leg, their AI will change accordingly, and the attacks that they do will change accordingly. If an enemy has lost an arm or a leg, you can finish them off quicker, so you have the incentive to finish the battles faster.
Very important to be able to win a fight as quickly as possible. That's what the ninja wanted to do. Get it over with very quickly so that somebody else wouldn't sneak a lucky move in or wear down the ninja or give them time for their allies to show up and assist them. So it became very, very important. One move, fight's over.
Itagaki-san has talked about a lot in interviews. There's definitely a idea in the Japanese warrior code that you know, if you're fighting a guy who's, you know, reasonably skilled, that there should be a certain amount of respect. Hayabusa, you know, respects this, and rather than letting an enemy, you know, suffer, putting them out of their misery is one way of saying, hey, I respect you, you fought well, now it's time for your soul to go on to the next plane.